transcended skies, soaring to new heights. So we're here at beautiful Bonwee Bay today, as you just saw, and we're filming ET, which is energy transformation, which is 13 articulation points of the body, discharging and recharging. Basically means taking out stress and putting in relaxation. In this edition, I'm going to be doing a complex version of it, adding in all the yoga asanas and all the yoga moves. It's all done with breathing. Each exercise or each part is repeated 9 times over. There is a more simple version uploaded, just the discharging and recharging of the 13 articulation points without all the movements and complications. But we'll just show you today how far we can go with this. As I say, if you want to start for beginners, ET, that version is on my YouTube channel, as this will be. So let's get into it. I won't be talking anymore. I'll just be breathing and making exhalation noises, and I'll explain later what's going on. just pan around for a bit while I arrive. That's better. Well, that was ET, Energy Transformation. It was an advanced version of what we just did there. A lot of yoga, asanas, positions. The end, we ended with the energy EFT, which is emotional freedom technique, and tapping, and then there was a meditation. So what you just witnessed was both the discharging of all the energy points of the body. We have 13 energy points in the body. So the discharging of all the joints or energy points of the body. Yeah, so there's the neck, the shoulders, the elbows, the ankles, the wrists, the hips, the knees, and the ankles. And maybe you didn't know this, but if you take your leg and you take your arm and you overlay them, they're exactly the same. So where you have an ankle and a wrist, and you have a knee and an elbow, and you have a shoulder and a hip, and then you have the neck. So we have 13 articulation points in the body, and the point is to keep moving them. The Indians talk about something called charivati, which is about movement. It means to keep moving, keep moving. That means stagnation is death and movement is life. So we have 13 joints or points in the body where we need to move. The reason why we need to move these points or joints in the body is because the energy or the chi or the prana, different cultures have different understanding of this energy or names for it, gets stuck in these joints. You could see these joints as faucets or taps. So when you open the tap, you allow the energy to flow. And when you close the tap in stressful situations, you don't allow the energy to flow. And that's where you get things like arthritis, where all the joints stick and you can't move and you become rigid. So up the spine as well, you have joints between each vertebrae. So the idea is to constantly move the body. So the first part and the articulation point part, or the joint part of movement, was about allowing the chi to flow, opening the taps of energy and allowing them to flow. The asanas, or the yoga positions, the stagnant positions but stretching, holding positions, are exactly that. They're about elongating the muscle structure. So about stretching the muscles and the ligaments so the same thing doesn't happen. They don't contort and contract, causing your body to close in. It's about opening up. So both the movement of the articulation points and the stretching in yoga or in any type of movement, this is called energy transformation, is about opening up like a flower instead of closing up. It's about day instead of night, light instead of dark, and all those dualities come into it. And funny enough, what you're trying to seek is singularity, oneness. So that deals with the articulation points and the stretching and the movement of the joints. Then we went into EFT, emotional freedom technique, which you saw the tapping points where we were tapping. Through your body, you have meridians. The meridians are like an overlay on the nervous system. So your nervous system through your body, which is your system that relates to the outside atmosphere, environment, keeping you protected and alive, i.e. if you touch something hot, you react by your nervous system. Well, overlaid on that is your energy system, your meridian system. It's exactly the same, but on an energy level instead of a physical level. And that allows you to be aware of your everything that's outside of the physical realm, the other dimensions and the other realms within your environment. Along that system you have points. Equally along your nervous system you have points. So along the meridian system you have points called pressure points. Here we use acupuncture and pressure puncture, reflexology, which touches on these points. Well, that's what EFT is about. EFT touches on all these points, on all these pressure points along your meridian. So it does exactly the same thing. When you're tapping, you're opening up the faucets and allowing the energy to flow. So you realize that everything I've said is about opening up and allowing the energy to flow, instead of stagnating and constricting and disallowing the energy to flow, which causes all dis-ease, the lack of ease of flow of energy, i.e. ailments, illness. The last thing we did was meditation, which is simply the breathing technique, deep nasal, diaphragmatic, expanding the stomach, contracting the stomach, breathing. Just to deal with breathing, most people think breathing is inhaling, pulling oxygen in, and exhaling. A lot of people do that through the mouth. Through the mouth, when you use mouth breathing, it's the incorrect system. We're not supposed to breathe through the mouth. We're supposed to use vocalization, talking, and consumption, eating and drinking. That's what the mouth is for, this orifice. When we use the mouth for breathing, we gulp in large amounts of oxygen, which put us out of sync because the lungs can't cope with it. It's the incorrect system, kind of like putting oil in your fuel system in the car and fuel in your oil system, or water and fuel, mixing them up in the vehicle. You'll have a problem. Same in your vehicle. Your body is a vehicle. You cause a problem when you mix up the systems. So the mouth is for eating and talking and drinking, and the nose is for breathing. Why? Because when you breathe through the mouth, you gasp in air. In reverse, when you're in stress, that causes stress. But when you're in stress, you start gasping for air. For instance, if you're in the wild and attacked by an animal and you had to run, you would gasp for air to get as much oxygen as possible so you can locomote, so you can function and get away and save your life. It's a survival, stress, flight or fight response system. Okay? That is what breathing through the mouth is about. So again, in reverse, if you breathe through the mouth, you're constantly activating a fight or flight survival system, and it causes adrenaline to be released in your body. Adrenaline is, in small doses, excellent for energy, like a little coffee. It's caffeine. It's a little energy boost. But if you constantly have it, it overrides the system and you burn out. So it's a survival technique, not a life technique. So when you're walking around in life, breathing through your mouth all the time, you're adrenalizing constantly and you're going to burn out. Hence, you're tired all the time. When you breathe through the nose, the mouth breathing, by the way, activates the sympathetic nervous system. And the sympathetic nervous system, activated by mouth breathing, is your fight or flight, is your adrenaline system. The parasympathetic nervous system is activated by nasal breathing. That's your system that releases melatonin, not adrenaline. Melatonin is what is released, which starts to put you to sleep at night. It's naturally released by dark, as adrenaline or cortisol is naturally released by light, in small, tiny doses. But when you breathe through your mouth, you release it in large doses, which is the damaging part. When you breathe through your nose and activate your parasympathetic nervous system and release melatonin, you're constantly relaxing your body. So imagine this, going through your whole day, taking approximately 26,000 breaths, relaxing yourself every breath. Or going through your day, constantly stressing yourself out with the mouth breathing and activating your sympathetic nervous system and creating adrenaline. So let's take that to an extreme in meditation. When we meditate, the purpose of meditation is to activate extreme concentrated aware breathing nasally, calmly, and increasing your melatonin value. So you're increasing melatonin, kind of like when you go to sleep, so you're increasing relaxation. Of course, meditation has many other uses, and meditation is not just a seated activity, and crossing your legs seated is not for me. Some may disagree, but I like to do it on the knees. It feels much more comfortable, in control. My spine can much more easily be straight, which is very important. But just to say the last point, and we finish up in 1 minute, is meditation is not just a seated activity. Meditation is a walk of life. Every day we can walk around nasal breathing, and that is activating your parasympathetic nervous system, relaxing and calming yourself in an aware meditation, a life meditation, a walking, living meditation. And that is really what meditation is about. Meditation is about life, awareness, a soul in this body, in this vehicle, an owner, a driver in this vehicle, driving the vehicle calmly and sensibly by the laws of consciousness and this dimension, the third dimension. So you travel in this body calmly and sensibly, like you travel in your vehicle calmly and sensibly. Imagine you just started driving your vehicle around, your car, radically spinning it out and crashing. Well, that's what you're doing when you breathe through your mouth, panic, anxiety all the time in your daily life. Whereas deep diaphragmatical breathing, not just nasally, but deeply into your diaphragm, exhaling, inhaling, is the way to go about it. And the last point is, when we breathe, just to come back to what I didn't finish off, we're not sucking in air and blowing it out. No, we're expanding the diaphragm. The stomach acts like a pump. So as you expand it outward, it draws in energy. And as you contract the stomach, it expels energy. Yeah, and breath. So we slowly expand the stomach, that's the diaphragmatic part, and nasal breathe. Watch the system. You've seen this before? It's like being rocked like a baby. So when we diaphragmatically nasal breathe correctly, we rock ourselves all day into compassion and calmness, relaxation and awareness. When we pant through our mouth, it's like we're a marathon runner at the end of the race, out of breath and stressing ourselves out like a gorilla. No offense to gorillas. Deep diaphragmatic breathing, using the stomach to expand and draw in the oxygen, using the stomach to contract and exhale the oxygen. So that's what that was about. Any more questions on this? We're going to go into a large Q&A on this. This will be put out on my YouTube channel, Rainbowstorm, and I'm sure I'll zoom to many people and chat about this. There is on my channel a more simple explanation of ET, where we just discharge and recharge the articulation points, the 13 articulation points, without the asanas, the extra stretching, without EFT, the emotional freedom technique, and without the meditation. So you can check that out just for a simple understanding. That's for beginners. Start small and work your way up. Thank you for Jenny for being so calm and filming this so well. And ascended skies, soaring to new heights and new understandings. Thank you.